We bang your ugly friends too. All right. Welcome to another edition of Bleach Bangs Music. We have some special guests with us today. We've got Andy and Gary from Sonic Legacy Podcast. How's it going, guys?
Hey guys, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's awesome. How's it going over there?
Absolutely great. So, just kind of want to introduce ourselves. You kind of saw them on the little small screen over in Nashville. Of course, I'm Randy, and I'm in Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton, and I'm in Piedmont, Oklahoma.
And I am John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
I'm Andy. I'm in Nashville.
Yeah, and I'm Gary. I'm from Cincinnati. Well, outside Cincinnati, but we'll go with Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, seeing your intro, I was like, what are we doing on this show? Look at all these.
I was like, damn, that looks really cool. What happened?
That's a good lead into us. I don't know.
Look, we're in Delaware.
No, you guys have a special place in my heart because, of course, we were at the Nashville Rockin' Pod, and you guys were the first people that we met.
Yeah.
And thank God it's like Tracy knew who to put next to us because we were scared shitless, had no idea what we were doing. And then here's Gary and Andy. Hey guys, what's your name? What are you guys using? What's going on? I'm like, oh my.
Yeah. That's about right.
And it was great. It was great. And then to pull up at the studio and walk in and there you guys are again. I was like, hey, we already know these guys.
Yeah.
This is cool.
I already got some plans.
Yeah. I mean, Rockin' Pod is such a good time. I hope you plan on coming back, Randy. It's a fun weekend.
Absolutely. It was so much fun. I think we would do a lot of things different. We definitely learned our lesson and from some things, but I mean, that's all part of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I even took your guys' advice, and I have a Zoom pod track now that I'm using, and I'm like, I'm never letting that happen to me again because we had so many audio issues and so many things going wrong. And I was like, oh my God, this sucks.
Yeah, that thing's just a wonderful piece of equipment, and we just that was our first time using it live, in a setting like that. But it's a great piece of equipment, and it's inexpensive, small.
Yeah,
does exactly what you need.
Yeah,
Perfect.
And it's funny, I was watching some of your interviews, and I kept seeing like we're in the back. I was like, hey, there's me, there's me behind Tuck Smith. That's cool.
So, who was your favorite in Nashville?
Man, there were so many good ones.
The Hungry and Dangerous.
The Hungry and the Dangerous. Yeah,
those guys were great.
We had more fun with those guys than we should have had. I don't know you've had them on your show. We brought them on our show. They are just wild. entertaining as hell. Tuck Smith was I thought was awesome to talk to.
Yeah. He sure wasn't what I was expecting. I mean, I thought he was like a pretty boy, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of sounds like it's going to be a little bit leaning to country. But
Yes.
once I checked it out, I'm like, holy crap. I started listening to it here, and I was like, Christy, you've got to check out Tuck Smith. Holy shit.
Were you able to interview Hal Sparks?
Yes.
Yeah, that was another good one for sure.
Oh yeah.
Hal Sparks was a firecracker, man. And,
Yeah.
I'm
I
curious.
was
Did you
laughing.
guys talk music with him?
We absolutely did.
A little bit, yeah. We
Okay.
squeezed some in.
We didn't get any of that.
Because
He was a talker.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a Kiss fan. A
Yeah.
huge Kiss fan.
Yeah.
It's where it all starts.
I really liked it because
right out there right now.
There you go.
Got to.
I wanted to go back to Tuck Smith because my favorite part of it was he stops and he just looks at me and he goes, "You've got a really cool vibe." He's like, "You're like the Oklahoma Buddha." I was like, "It's so funny. That is so cool." So yeah, he was Al Sparks. Gosh, I don't know who was I liked the best. I mean,
It's tough. There were a couple, and we don't want to name names that were little like pulling teeth
yeah.
to get to
Yeah.
an interview out of.
One
You know,
of
you're
them-
like, this is
one
a lot
them
of
might have
work.
one of them might have been sent over to you early.
Yes, he was.
This is fact.
And
I
I
didn't
kept
know what to do with that either.
I kept looking at my watch, like we gotta be done, right? And we weren't. And Gary's like, we started early. I'm like, oh, for the love of God.
I loved it because afterwards Andy comes up to me and he goes, "Did you guys let him go early?" I said, "Yeah."
I
That's all the
literally,
time we have, guys. Sorry, we got.
I literally said to him, I was like, well, I guess I know you got to get going. Just please, like that was a hard interview.
That was very
And
hard.
Gary can attest.
Yeah.
Like I can talk to anybody. I can talk too much. I was out. I was like, I ran out of words. Like I don't know what else to say to you, dude.
And I was not a help at all, by the way. That was one interview that I was a spectator at. I
he's
didn't
like,
know.
you got this? No,
I
no, I
tapped
do not.
you too. Yeah, I tapped out on that one. I was just let him roll.
Just let him roll. Let
Tag
him
team battle. You
shrivel
keep
up and
tagging
die
each other
over
in.
Hey, Gary, Gary, what were you had a question, right, Gary? He's like, nope. Nope, I didn't have a question at all. You got it. And I was like, God.
No, but I thought I heard you starting to talk. What were you about to say?
Yeah.
It was a real testament of my ability to carry a conversation. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I was like,
Ron Keel was really good at a conversation. That
Yeah.
man can talk as well. So that was another one that was really good.
and he opened our eyes up to something that we like. When he told us this, something we were talking about, and then I was like, I realized I'm stunned thinking about what you just said, and now I've lost my questions. I lost where I was on my page. I'm like, shit. Like he's making me contemplate things, man.
He just wasn't what I expected. I was expecting a guy that was kind of standoffish, and he was not standoffish at all. And he just wanted to. He was having so much fun.
Yeah.
And even after we were tearing down at the end of the day, he was like, "Rocket Pod!" You can hear him clear across the whole room. He's like, "We did it again! Another year in the books, Rocket Pod!" I'm like, "Dang, Ron!"
Yeah, like he's got a vested interest in it or something. Maybe he does. I don't know.
I know, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So for you guys, what got you into starting a podcast and doing what you're doing on your side?
Go ahead, Gary.
I was just gonna say, Andy was in another one. He had another podcast going, and he went to Rock and Pod. What was that? A couple years prior, because they skipped a year. And the guys that were on another podcast with him, they couldn't show up. So he asked me if I wanted to come down and just hang out. And I came down, and he's like, "Man, none of the other guys are showing up. You want to co-host?" I was like, I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And we had such a great time with that when we were talking about already kind of doing a movie podcast and talking about doing something like that. And it was kind of like, let's just do that. And then we switched to music, adding like a music one after he kind of got out of the other one. We're like, let's just start a music one as well. So
yeah, I mean, the thing I always tell people, like these conversations that Gary and I have been friends for like 40 years, something like that, 30 something years. So we've been having these exact same conversations for that time. We just now decide, like, let's just put it on. I mean, I feel like I should have been on broadcast. I wanted to be a radio guy. I should have did it. I just didn't. But I love talking about music. I'm passionate about what I love. You know, we were talking about the effort earlier before. We're talking about Night Ranger. I will argue with someone in the parking lot about Night Ranger. If you say something bad, I will correct you and argue with you till you'll be like, you know what, you're right. I'm just tired of listening to you run your mouth. So you win. And the same with Kiss. I mean, bands that I love, I'll talk about endlessly, and I love to hear other people's opinions. And Gary and I, besides being friends, I mean, we're musicians and songwriters, and we've done all these things, and it's just fun. I mean, you know, you guys know, nobody's making any money doing this unless you're Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah.
This
exactly.
it's a true labor of love, which takes, for me at least, it takes me back to when Gary and I were first playing music together, and we would rent little lofts and places to rehearse and write, and it was just him and I. You know, we were in and out of relationships, losing girlfriends. Our friends are all out partying and drinking, and we were sitting in a loft with no AC, eating Pop-Tarts, arguing over how great the latest Queensryche album was, or, you know, what Janie Lane song was the best off of Dog Eat Dog. You know, we're arguing these things. Like, what's got to be this song, right? And our friends like, you guys don't want to go out and like party? We're like, what do you mean? We're having a great time sitting here. What are you talking about? What else is there to do? So,
Right.
So thus, thank you, Steve Jobs and pods and podcasting, and here we are.
And also with Andy moving to Nashville and me in Cincinnati, we don't get a chance to hang out very often at all. So this for us is just a way for us to kind of keep in touch. And, you know, we have conversations, like he said, this time we just turn on the video and mics and share it with everybody, I guess. I don't know. It's fun.
I love it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Your origin story is very similar to what ours was. And when I met you, Andy, I was like, God, this guy is kind of like John. He's got this knowledge of just random stuff stuck in his head and for no reason.
And I can't help it. Like,
right.
I've never had a good job, but I can tell you the name of Radar's dog on MASH if you'd like to know. It won't get me anywhere in life, but hey,
right?
Makes me feel good.
But we were, me and one of my best friends that I grew up with. I was in Oklahoma City and he was in New Mexico, and we just started texting back and forth. He's like, dude, I am so sick of the radio that it's the same songs over and over. He goes, we would have been really good DJs.
Yep.
And from then on, we just started messing with each other. We were like sending back different things. And then I found Blog Talk Radio and I sent it to him. I'm like, check this shit out. I said, we can do it. And we needed to have somebody else. And I was like, I know a perfect guy. His name's John. I met him at Rocklahoma. He knows all kinds of random ass shit. And that's the only way we knew each other was from Rocklahoma and just mutual friends, and that we just ran into each other. And then I'm like, what was the message, John?
With the first one you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, it was on MySpace.
Yes.
Oh God.
And Randy straight up said to me, top 5 vocalists. We go live at 7. Bring your A game.
No pressure.
And I'm like, who is this about?
Yeah, who is this?
Like, first of all, it's easy. It's Jeff Tate, Rob Halford, Jeff Tate again.
You sound like John
Chris
too.
Darmo.
Somebody's got to do those backups.
The most random message that I had no context to, so I messaged him back. I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? And finally, like 2 hours later, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do a radio show." I was like, "We are?"
Oh, I just met you.
I still don't know who this is.
But yeah, that's kind of how it was. And John was just like, I'm gonna log on and just see if anybody else is on there.
Yeah.
Holy shit, somebody's on there.
Right.
Great. It's great. So, Ashton, what's your story? What's the connection here? Are we?
Well, about 29-ish years ago, my dad decided to do the thing with my mother, and
he bleached your mom.
We're going way back.
Randy's my dad.
I was I hope he explains who his dad is here in just a second.
Right.
Fast forward
28 years. Yeah, Randy's actually my dad. And I started off doing this just kind of being the IT behind everything because I've got computer knowledge. I've got a pretty good setup at home and some knowledge with streaming and all that stuff, how to do all that. So he was just like, please, we need like a younger person that knows this shit to help. So I was like, happily, it'll make me better at it too. And then things happened, things kind of lost their third guy. So then I was like, well, I could sub in every now and again and help out. And I just kind of turned permanent. I still kind of do a lot of the IT stuff behind the scenes. He does most of it now, which is awesome. But I just kind of sit in now and look pretty.
And then you're a musician, or you just have guitars hanging on your wall?
They're pretty, aren't they, though?
I have guitars too, but I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer. I don't know how to play them.
Yes, I am a musician. I've been playing.
I'm still just a drummer.
I've been playing guitar since I was 12, 13. So about 14 years.
Real quick, we're live. Top 5 guitar players.
Top 5 guitar players. Randy Rhoads, number 1. Always Randy Rhoads. Nuno Bettencourt. Van Halen. Dimebag Darrell. Zach Wild.
You had me at Nuno, so I'm good.
Nuno is can't make a list without Randy and Nuno.
Yeah. So no Ace Frehley, I noticed. If you had 6 guitarists, would Ace be there? Or 7?
Honestly,
the correct
answer Ace would probably be 6. Honestly, I like the more complexity. He knows how to write some music. Don't get me wrong; he can write some music, but I don't think I like complexity.
If you dig into, I found this out when I started looking up who wrote the songs. When I realized, A, it wasn't Barry Manilow. B, all the Kiss songs that I really liked were written by Ace, which blew my mind because I thought, Gene wrote, all the songs, or Paul wrote songs. It's like, no, Parasite was written by Ace. Cold Gin was written by Ace. I was like, well, he writes better songs. Nice. Solo albums come out. Ace's was far superior than everybody else's.
Wow. Noted. John's writing notes right now.
John's like, and he's dead to me.
Actually, I was writing down my dinner order to my wife. So
that's more important. Fair enough.
At the bottom of it, she's like, Chipotle and Andy's dead. Who's Andy?
I don't think they have Andy's dead to me flavor there.
Is that like the carnitas?
I actually just saw something, I think it was yesterday or the day before, when I was scrolling through, and it was a quote from Paul. It said something about Gene wrote way more songs than I did because I only wrote good songs.
Yes. Zing!
Did you see that on there?
I saw that and I was like, wow.
I was like, now that we've separated, it's already zinging each other.
But he's not wrong, he's not wrong. Like, I don't know if you've heard the stuff out of the vault. My buddy that has that stuff, there's all those like 400 songs. That's some crap. I mean, absolute crap. I was like, man, you should. I don't know if I'd have put that out there to people. Now I know there's diehards that will argue, "Oh, everything Kiss did was great." I'm not one of those. I'm not. But yeah. Anyway, hey, what are we talking about?
Everything.
Okay, though, Andy. Let's go into favorite Kiss song. like just yours personally?
There's two. Early era, Rock Bottom. The later era, Unholy. I think Unholy is one of the greatest songs they ever put out. It's demonic. It speaks to me. I think Revenge is probably their second or third best album they've ever made.
Yeah,
that is a great album. I do love it.
Next to Carnival of Souls. No, I kid. That's a piece of shit.
Did anybody buy that?
Man, we have a friend who will defend that album.
Oh my!
Me and Gary do.
That's insane.
But yeah, Rock Bottom. I think Gary and we've had this discussion, and it's tough because it changes so much. But Rock Bottom always comes. It's just one of the. It was on Dress to Kill, the first album I ever had, and I love the guitar intro, the super long intro for some reason, and then it just punches you in the face. I can't. You're like, whoa, great music, great. End of the day, great stuff.
Right.
What about you? What about you, Sergeant Sleaze?
My personal favorite, and it's been with me for many years at this point, is off music from The Elder. It's World Without Heroes. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, I love The Oath off that album.
So, and most people are like, The Elder, why?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I love that song. Like, I don't care.
It's a great song.
Right.
Yeah, and it features the great Eric Carr, which I always love. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a little surprise for you guys. So at Rockin' Pod, we also went to a studio, and me and my wife pulled up. She goes, "Okay, well now what are we doing now?" I said, "We need to be at this studio." She's like, "What are we doing?" I was like, "There's like they're all getting together and they're going to play some music and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of a meet and greet, just introduce you to everybody." And then she's like, "Well, what are we doing there?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to be doing a song, Crazy Train." She goes, "What?" She goes, "Shouldn't you practice?" I go, "No, I'm fine." She's like, "Have you looked at the lyrics?" "No, I'm good."
Who doesn't know the words?
I have them memorized.
So anyway, this was one of my favorites. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Gary can sing like a son of a bitch. I was like, holy crap. And this does not do any justice to what we were standing in, because it sounded so good. Yeah. And we also have Andy back there playing drums as well. So
oh shit,
here we go.
Oh no. I'm nervous.
Holy shit.
I'm telling you, it sounded so good there. Gary was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't hear myself." And I'm like, "No, you got
You're good.
You're good, I promise."
It was really, really hard to hear vocals in that room. That was rough. And of course, I had my cheat sheet, even though we used to play that song. It's like, I know this song, but I'm so nervous. When we were going to that thing, I'm thinking, we're down in Nashville. There's going to be all these musicians down there that are like people that probably
pros.
Yeah. And they work at like a restaurant or something. And they're going to come in here and just, embarrass me. And so I was nervous going to that. It's like, I'm going to forget a lyric or something. I better have the lyrics with me. So I appreciate that. I walked out of there like not feeling all that great about myself, but
oh no, it was so good. Man. It was so good. And then I wish we would have got it. I don't think we got it, but me and Gary actually did Cold Gin, wasn't it? We did Cold Gin together too. So Yeah, I really wish we would have got that.
I felt like you needed a second chance because we had to get the sound guy to come in and try to boost the vocals a little bit because you did the first song, right? Wasn't Crazy Train like the first thing?
It was really close to the.
It was early, and I'm like, man, you gotta come in and join me on this one. So yeah, that was a great time. I had a good time.
Yeah,
but it was so much easier because we had already met you guys after setting up and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, I feel comfortable. I know these two.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little bit better.
Yeah, Gary and I, we played in a working cover band in Cincinnati for years, and we wrote songs together, did studio work together, and Gary's great. I'm Gary's biggest fan. He's very humble about it, but I will talk Gary's vocal abilities and his writing abilities up to anybody that'll listen to him. He's a great writer,
and that's why we're friends. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, I'm his hype man. I'm his Flavor Flav.
Oh yeah, my boy. Gosh! but it was. I'm telling you, the man is legit. When he sings, he is legit. And thanks, some of the things that some people kind of fake, he was not faking it. So I mean, I can tell.
It did seem like the other people that like said, "Hey, I'll sing a song." Like after we left, all like, "Yeah, dude, Gary can sing." Like we're all just out there
following that.
We're all like dicking around, like
we're all done
running the ringer. But Rain, how much fun was Crazy Train? Because I played drums on that, man. Was that not fun or not?
That was a good time. Like Gary said, it was. It was kind of. It started off a little rough. I might actually have that video too.
Well, the thing is, the guy, they set the sound and then he walked out.
Yeah.
It's like everybody, there's no monitors. There's nobody mixing as it's going. Like, hey, some guys sing like quieter, so you got to bring them up. Like, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Dad, what are we going to play next year? If we play Crazy Train, I'll actually play the solo. I'm like, hey.
There you go.
That still bothers the shit out of me. I'm like, you killed the whole song, but you can't play the solo.
Yeah. I'm probably like, yeah, I don't play. I don't want to copy. You know, I do my own thing. I was like, yeah, don't do that.
Right.
Randy got it right. You don't need to adjust Randy's style. Randy's playing was
exactly.
I think he nailed it.
He already set the blueprint.
Yeah, for everybody.
So, you want to see a little bit of that video?
Yes, I do.
A little bit.
Why have you been holding out this whole time?
Yeah, well, because I wasn't real proud of it because it was really rough at first. I cut off.
Randy.
I did cut off the first part of it. So,
Randy, we're proud of you.
Oh, John, thank you.
I'll be your hype man too, man. I'll be your Huckleberry.
All right, here's a little more from the studio. All right, that's enough of that. Did you see Andy back there?
That was good, man.
That was good stuff.
The whole time I'm listening to the guitarist, and I'm just like,
yeah,
judging the shit out of him.
Right at the end of that clip, you can see the sound guy coming in.
I was like, I wonder if I could fix that.
Randy, I'm so proud of you, but I don't think I'd ever imagined you in tie-dye before.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. Interesting.
He's quietly a deadhead, isn't he?
Right.
It was actually a Rocklahoma shirt. Yeah,
very confusing.
We told John. John got one of these podcast Rock and Pod shirts, and I was like, I just knew you were going to wear that, John. I thought Ashton probably would, and I'll laugh my ass off if Andy and Gary are wearing one.
Mine's actually right over here, and I thought, oh, should I grab that real quick?
Yeah, they didn't make them in fat ass size, so I'm afraid I couldn't actually fit into mine. But
get a little bit of Tommy Boy going on.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not buttons off,
But John's like, Randy, it's white. It's a no.
I'm not allowed to wear white. My wife's like, no, because I'm tired of getting the stains out of it. I spill, and if I have white on, I spill something.
Yep.
So
me too.
I have a closet full of black T-shirts.
She's over here pointing at me right now, going,
and it's slimming. Black is slimming. So
yeah, it's
I wear multiple black shirts at a time.
I do think it's funny. We're all wearing black T-shirts, though.
It's all like,
I mean,
because we're just rockers. That's all I have.
Right. The only color you need. What the hell?
My wife literally
with everything.
She stood in our closet one day. Now I'm 55 years old, and she stood in our closet, and she's going like through my stuff, and she's like, "When are you gonna? When's this gonna change?" And I was like, "What? When's what gonna change?" She's like, "The concert shirts." I was like, I don't know. Is that wrong? And she's like, well, do you think your dad was wearing Kiss T-shirts at 55? I was like, no, because he wasn't cool.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And she just laughs and walks out. She's like, I don't know.
The bad thing is my wife's side of the closet is darker than mine because she's got way more.
Yeah.
She goes to a lot more shows than what I do.
Well, I saw some of those pictures had her name on it, I guess. So you guys do a lot of photography?
Yeah.
She's our photographer, yeah.
That's
she's
so
a concert
cool,
photographer.
Man. That is so cool.
Yeah, she's got thousands of shows under her belt.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, all of our pictures are, you sneak the camera in and back in the day, you used to have to hide it in your crotch.
It says Fujifilm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right, you got to wind it.
Hold still. It didn't flash. Anyway.
Yeah, it's got the built-in flash, or you got to hold down the button.
Yeah.
We're that old.
You go
for that old.
3 days to get it developed, and you look at the pictures, you're like, shit.
Oh,
it turned out.
It's so blurry.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
So I was going to ask you a little bit later, like on your show.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite concert or festival that you guys have been to?
Gary, you want to speak first?
I don't know that I've actually ever been to a festival though.
We have multiples because we go to a lot of concerts together.
Representing, guys. I'm representing for you. I don't think it'll show up on the camera.
Yeah, he's wearing your rubber band.
I would, Andy and I talk a lot on our show. It's come up in many times in conversations that as silly as it sounds, especially since we're in the rock sphere here, Don Henley was actually a life-changing concert for me, and Andy usually shares the same sentiment with that.
Absolutely.
That just changed a lot of what we thought about with music. We were very stubborn and in a single lane. All rock, and we just by chance, a friend of ours had tickets, took us to this Don Henley concert, and when we saw what song was it, Andy?
Desperado.
Desperado. When he sang Desperado, and he didn't sing it, the entire crowd did. It was like it just kind of changed a lot for me. It was like, oh man, that's what I want. Is I want people to be doing the same thing with songs I write. Yeah. This is, of course, going back to like early 90s.
Yeah, 91, 92. Gary and I were wanting to be songwriters.
Yeah.
But we were writing like stuff, trying to make Rat or Queensryche, and we didn't understand the depth of good lyrics.
Yeah.
Not that they write badly, but I'm saying, and Don Henley, we sat there and we were both like, what the hell's happening? Like, this is like church. Like, it's changing. Like, I suddenly became obsessed with Don Henley.
Yeah.
Like, and then started studying his lyrics and his style, and I'm like, holy crap! So there is more to life than Bullet Boys. I don't know what to do with this knowledge, So, but yeah, the Henley show was a big one.
That was a good one.
End of the Innocence tour.
Yeah.
One for me. January 9th, 1983. I saw Kiss, Creatures of the Night tour, the last tour with Makeup for the time. in Dayton, Ohio, and the opening band was a band called Night Ranger. So I saw two bands that would massively impact my life in one show, and that is it's just one of those things that's burned in my mind. That show meant so much to me, and even that goes so many years later. It's still, I mean, look, Gary and I both were at the Def Leppard Tesla Hysteria tour. That was in the round, was one of the greatest live shows I've ever seen. And then we've seen some
Mindcrime was a great tour. That was all.
So yeah, I mean, gosh, it goes on and on. It's amazing, truly amazing. But we shared a lot of them. That's the problem. It's like we have the exact same list.
Remember this one? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, member berries. We saw a guy who I mention all the time on our show called Butch Walker.
You'd be remiss, Andy.
I'd be remiss
if somebody else's podcast you didn't mention.
If I don't mention Butch Walker. We went to Chicago and saw Butch Walker play a small club called the Abbey Pub. A small, like maybe 100 people. And the opening act was Brian Vander Ark, the lead singer of the Verve Pipe. And that was a show that was like Henley. We're all sitting like, what is happening? Like, this is life-changing. This 2-hour set of two guys that are just out there just with acoustic guitars, leaving it all on stage. Yeah. I mean, sweating, strings are breaking, jumping into the crowd singing every single lyric back to them. And you're like, well, this is better than Pyrotech. This is better than anything I've ever seen. And it's just a small club. So I guess it's perspective, but what means, but for Bombastic, Kiss, 1983. Unbelievable. That I thought Ace Frehley was going to be there, and I was wildly wrong because it was Vinnie Vincent. I'm walking into the venue going, Ace is going to be there, and Brent's going, he's not here. Brent, you're wrong. Stage comes out, I'm like, who the hell's that guy?
What's on his face?
What is that?
That's not Ace Frehley, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. That's it.
Awesome. I would have to say for me, it's probably Rockin' America. They had that down here in Oklahoma City. They've done it once and have never done it again. But it was so there was just so many elements about that whole festival. That just so many different things. One of them was my son got up there was following us to go see Lizzie Borden at the front of the VIP, and he flashes his Bleach Bangs pass that he had on, and they go on ahead, and got him front row, and even got blood on his face. Lizzie came down and put it all over his face and everything. That
his other son.
The other son. And then the hotel, they put all of the bands in the same hotel and then invited everybody to go to the hotel. So we've got the Bullet Boys, Warrant, everybody's just walking around in this hotel and drinking beer. I mean, we're just running into Trickster. I mean, just hey, what's up? Yes.
Well, yeah, that's
my wife likes to tell the story about how
don't do
the
it.
Drummer. Do what?
Don't do it. I just figured it was gonna be about the one where I tried to order a beer from somebody's wife.
No, that was. But the drummer for Trickster was hitting on some of the girls and going, "You guys can come on up," because they had all the rooms open and every room was partying. So you would just go from room to room and come on up to our room. And she says, "Well, let me get my husband." And he goes, "This isn't no sausage fest." So it was kind of done there. So
that's great.
But there was just so many things that were going on, and John offended Millie's fiance from Steelheart. So yeah. Me and John are sitting here having this conversation. we were having this conversation with somebody, and we're talking about things, and Millie's fiance had some type of beer that John really wanted. He's like, "Hey, where did those come from?" He tells her, "Hey, will you go get me one? Give me one of those." And I was like, "John, that's Millie's fiance, right?" She was just coming into the conversation. She was not our waitress.
She's delivering somebody a beer.
There you go. Get me a sandwich while you're at it. If you're up and at it, jeez. Tell your boyfriend I said hi.
Out of anyone, come on now.
Yeah, we still had him on the show.
Yeah, we did have him on the show. Yeah.
Did you tell him that story?
No, it actually was before that.
Oh.
Yeah. John, didn't you walk into Lizzie Borden's room or something like that? I think
No. It was okay. I was hanging out with Jody Rowe from the Glitter Boys. Oh, God. And I want to say it was some Australian guy that was like, "Oh, the Glitter Boys, you got to come party with us. We got a private room, blah, blah, blah." And we're kind of like looking for Chase, his guitar player at the time, because what's new, we lost one of the band members. And Jody's like, "I don't really want to follow this guy to some random room." I'm like, "I don't know. It's kind of sketchy." But like, the guy's like, "Come on, I'll get you guys a drink." And we're like, "Well, maybe we should just follow him for one drink."
You did say the magic words.
That's how it always happens, right? Yeah, we walk in to this little tiny conference. I didn't even think it was an actual conference room, but they made it into one and had like 2 couches in it. We walk in, Lizzie's standing like in the center of the room, just hanging out, and there's like 12 chicks sitting on the couches, and I'm like, "Well, this party's not so bad."
Yeah.
I'll take this one.
We can stay. I mean,
so me being, the networking person that I am when I've been drinking a lot, I made sure that Lizzie got one of our cards in his hand that night. I was like, "Hey, yeah, we got a podcast. You want to chat with us sometime?" He did this. Okay. I was like, I don't think I've got him convinced, but maybe.
Right.
I don't know if you heard me. We have a podcast. Followed by tens of people. So
yeah, exactly.
And I want to say within the next year-ish, they were on our show, though, because I came to Oklahoma City for their show July 4th of like 2011 or 2012. So somewhere in there, we had them on before that, because then they were like, "Anything you want at the show, you let us know." I'm like, all right.
I want you to acknowledge my card. That's what I want.
Yeah, I just want you to remember that I gave you a card.
Yeah,
that's all.
Right, exactly.
And you smirked at me, so.
But there was just so many things about that whole festival. I wish that they would put a festival like that on again. Of course, they had the main stage, then they had a side stage, and then outside they had another tent they had a stage in it. So it's kind of set up weird, but it was so good. Did you guys ever get into like Dirty Penny? You know who Dirty Penny was? Okay.
No.
It was
Dirty
so
Penny
good.
sucks.
That's why we didn't get into them right there. Yeah.
Good reason.
But they were so good. Just everything about that festival was just wonderful. Anyway, I went too long on that.
Listen, that's a great topic of bands that you love and everyone else thinks is garbage, and you'll defend them. Like,
I actually love Dirty Penny, but that's what everybody chanted before they took the stage.
Oh, really? Nice.
They had T-shirts that said that Dirty Penny sucks. It's just
that's
Andy, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Butch Walker used to have a Butch Suck shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I was gonna see. I'll do another timely reference here. It sounds like a page out of Brian Bosworth's book. If you guys remember the Boz,
that's a throwback.
Yeah,
that's not the actor Boz, the football player who used to have shirts and shit
actor.
made. Exactly, but he used to have stuff made that says "I hate Boz" or "Boz sucks," and he would have them sold at the next stadium they went to. So people are buying his shirts because they hate him, but they're buying them from him. I was like, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's good
awesome.
stuff.
Those kids that
That
don't
is
know who it is,
perfect.
look up the Boz. It was fantastic.
That's some good
Ashton.
marketing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Randy? We've gone way longer than what our normal would be.
It's
We've
just-
been having a blast. Are we going to jump ship and go do another one of
'Cause
these?
that guy can talk.
Yeah. This guy over here.
Are we going to jump ship and do another podcast on another platform with you guys?
Yeah, we're going to record one of our episodes of Sonic Legacy, and then we'll. No, we don't do ours live, so we'll record ours, and then we will share it to you guys, and you can do what you want with that stuff. So
Okay.
hopefully your people will jump over and watch us too.
Right on. So how do we get there?
Yep, do that. And make sure we put that link, Ashton. Do it.
Oh man, what's the best way, Andy? YouTube? Oh
Yeah,
Are you pointing to a link that's supposed to show up?
right here.
You just the Chiron below.
I don't know
I,
how
mean,
you.
I did have this and I forgot to put it on.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
There you go, Andy. See what you did?
I'm just saying things.
Wrong way.
That
Yeah,
Ashton, man, he's on the ball over there.
Magic.
I try to
know.
do some stuff relatively quickly.
Yeah, the best way to find us anywhere is what Tummy Twins Media. Tummy Twins is what Gary and I have his hat there on YouTube. If you look up, is it Gary's at Tummy Twins?
I don't. It's at Tummy
Hold on.
Twins, I think. Yeah.
Let me look it up here on my magical device.
Now our website, tummytwins.com, that has links to everything there. So
Oh,
that's
there-
probably the
okay,
easiest
there we
way to
go.
find it. And then we've got the YouTube channel that's got all of our stuff, and then the
Yeah.
audio version of all of our podcasts is anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, any of your podcatchers catch that stuff. We're as far as we can go.
There you go.
There we go.
Wow. Entertainment meets insightful discussions. Well,
I
I mean,
Sometimes on a good day.
I don't want to
Sure.
say AI wrote that, but AI wrote that.
hey, really overselling it, Gary. Oh, the bees, the bees.
Yeah. Yeah. Why you must listen? I don't know. We're the world's okayest sound quality.
I love that.
Okay. Yes,
The absolute mid
Gary,
tools of the trade.
Famous should have been air quoted. Famous interviews.
Well, if you read below it, we may not be famous in a traditional sense. End of sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're from Step Brothers. You know.
Look, man, tens of people enjoy our stuff on a weekly basis.
Damn straight.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Love it.
Yeah, we got 327 subscribers. So there.
Hey.
I mean, they all don't watch, but they subscribe.
They're there. That's all that matters.
And there's some that aren't family. So, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
All righty. So how are we going to hook up with you after this?
We'll get out of here, and then Gary will send a link. Do you guys?
I need an email. I need a way
Yeah.
to get a hold of you guys. Actually, I could send it to you, Randy, in Facebook.
Okay.
And
I
then
know
you
we're
can share
friends on Facebook.
because we use StreamYard also. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Cool,
yeah,
cool, cool.
we'll do
Hey,
that.
Randy, play us out
yes.
and blow out their eardrums.
Oh yeah.
Blow 'em
Watch
out.
this.
Watch his magic trick.
We bang your ugly friends too.